Welcome to part 2 of my long-lasting makeup routine. On this video now, I'm showing you how I set my cream products with powder products. So this might be a long one again. So now I'm going to go ahead and set my under eye and just basically the rest of my face. I'm going to be using this setting powder. This is the Sugar Cookie by Huda Beauty. I will never stop raving about this powder. This is my all-time favorite powder to use to set my under eye. So it's a loose setting powder. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these little puffs right here. And I'm just really going to add some into that powder puff. I'm going to add it onto the back of my hand just to kind of blend out the products and get any excess out. And then I'm gonna grab my beauty sponge and I'm just really going to make sure that there is no creasing underneath our eyes before we set our under eye. So I'm gonna have my powder puff and hopefully you can see how blurring this powder is, okay? So I'm just going to apply it and I'm just using tapping motions. And I'm just gently pressing it down. Difference between this side and this side. This side right here looks a lot more blurry, a lot more smoother. It literally looks like I have a filter, a soft filter onto my skin. Compared to this one, I can see obviously all the shininess from all of those cream products, as well as I can see my pores, my texture. So this powder, I like to mainly focus it a lot on my mouth area, especially right here in my mustache, because I do sweat a lot in that area. And I do get a lot of smile lines because when I smile, I do get those smile lines. So I like to focus it a lot in this area right here. And then also a lot in my forehead because for some reason when I talk, I do this a lot. So I want to make sure that I really target this area right here. Next, I'm gonna add a small layer of this MAC mineralized finishing powder, and I'm just adding it all over the skin. And once again, I am literally just tapping. I don't like to swivel or any of that. I like to tap all of my products into the skin, just like that. We're gonna add color back into our face. So we're gonna go in with a powder bronzer and a powder contour. So I'm gonna be using this palette right here from Frankie Rose. Using a brush like this right here. It's a little bit angled. So I'm gonna pick up this darker shade first. Tap out any excess. Contour. And once again, I am doing a tapping motions. And once again, I am pulling and doing a tapping motions. Now we're going to go in with our blush, but this time we're going to be using the powder blush. And I'm going to use the same one from this Morphe palette. And I'm picking it up in this, like a brush like this. And once again, I am just keeping it in the same areas, just in the high points of our cheeks. Another thing that I like to do with my blush is going to be using this specific She's Mysterious blush from Beauty Creations using a different brush. I'm going to pick some of it up, tap out any excess, And whatever's on the brush, I'm just going to blend this part right here. And I don't know if you can see a difference between this one and this one. I don't know, it adds something to it. It looks a lot more blended and more smoother. I don't know. I've always liked doing this step. I don't know what it does, but I like how it looks. And this is what the makeup is looking like. And now that we added all of those powder products, we are now ready to set and lock down this makeup so it does not go anywhere. So we are on the final step. First setting spray that I like to go in is going to be this D'Alba First Spray. This is more of a skincare setting spray kind of, but I like using this one to really melt down all of those powder products, so that way it just doesn't look too cakey and it just looks more skin like. And I do like to apply a good amount. We're going to wait for this to dry out, and as you can see, it did bring back some of that glow and that radiance back to life. With the powder puff, I'm gonna go back in without any products, and I'm just lightly pressing everything down. And I am basically doing this just to remove any excess oils that that setting spray has, because I don't want a super glowy base. I actually do like a more of a matte face. So I like that setting spray just to really melt everything down. But I do like to go back in with my powder puff and just pick up any excess residue or oil that that setting spray left behind. Now we are on the last and final step into our makeup. Setting spray right here is going to really lock everything down. This is legit a hairspray but for your face. So this is going to be waterproof, it's going to be concert proof, it's going to be peda approved, it's going to be a revolcada approved. You can literally sleep with your makeup and your makeup is going to be on the very next day. Like, I swear, I love this setting spray so much. Just make sure you don't breathe when you are applying this setting spray.